What is up? Happy Friday. Man, a lot going on. Did you see they just kicked Trump's lawsuit out against the New York Times? They said it was rambling. And then they were mean. So they told him, go back. And he says, we're going to file it again. He's suing them for $15 billion. They're worth $8 billion.
So this is going to go to the Supreme Court too, right?
Well, no, this is a civil case.
This is civil.
Yeah,
okay,
so they got nothing to do with that at this point. So, they told him no. I don't know what exactly what he was suing him for. I'm sure there's plenty that you could go after him. But
dude, there's so many lawsuits.
Yeah, I'm so confused at this point. Are we getting sued? It's possible. Are they suing us? Bell?
Well, maybe
you should be getting papers any day now because I'm going to sue you.
It's like the tariffs. I couldn't tell you what's happening. I think there's possible. Maybe. I don't know.
I think we ought to spend about 3 hours talking about it.
Oh, absolutely. It's very exciting. Yeah, you're suing them for $15 billion. They're worth $8 to $9. I don't even know how they're worth that. How's the newspaper worth anything?
Advertising.
Well, it is the New York Times.
Yeah.
That's the paper of record.
Yeah.
Isn't that their thing? So they're the paper of record, and the Washington Post is where
what's the
democracy dies in whatever?
In darkness.
In darkness.
Oh,
yeah. It was something like that. I don't know. When's the last time you actually held a newspaper and read it?
Over a decade.
Wow, that's a good question. I used to really be into newspapers, man. Growing up in high school, in Oklahoma City had two newspaper companies. One would come out in the morning, and the other one would come in the afternoon. And in high school, this is how nerdy I was, I got both of them.
Really?
Yes. Sometimes I'd read them, sometimes I wouldn't. I liked having them. And I liked the way they smelled. I didn't like my little dog Bucky taking off with one of them.
No, that's bad.
Didn't like that.
Was Bucky a wiener dog?
Nope. He was a little Australian Shepherd mix.
Okay.
Had one blue eye.
Oh, that's cool. I like when they do that.
Yeah.
Should have named him David Bowie.
But, yeah, I should have. Well, at the time, I would have named him Rob Halford. Just because I really loved Judas Priest.
Oh, you're going to get a little leather outfit and a whip?
Get him a little leather whip and a hat.
Get him a little boyfriend dog.
But, my one of my grandfathers, he was an adamant newspaper reader. And I don't know, I guess it just kind of rubbed off on me. But anyway, sorry to get off topic.
No, I like that. Because I can't even remember, honestly, the last time I read a newspaper.
It's been a long time for me,
like
man.
Where you're holding it and you're going through it.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't even remember. Sometimes it's off, the type's offset a little bit. And you're like, oh, you got to go from page 1 to page 7B. And you're like flipping through the So, because nowadays the kids would they'd read the first paragraph and it's like, now switch to, page 9. You're like, well, no, I guess we'll never find out what happens. Right.
The great Jerry Minshew, who was part of our newsroom whenever I first got here 10 years ago, he would bring a copy of the Tennessean in. And I think that may be the last time I actually picked up a paper and actually just read it.
Man, it's crazy. Yeah, because the industry, when you think about it, I mean, New York Times will survive because, first of all, this lawsuit's not going to work. Somebody did say, oh yeah, it was the Epstein book letter.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Oklahoma City didn't get the internet until 2009.
Yeah, it was the Daily Oklahoman, and then in the afternoon it was called the Tribune. And eventually, I think the Oklahoman just bought up the Tribune, and then there was just one paper, that would come in the morning.
Wow, that is.
But that was back in the 80s.
Long time ago. I remember when I remember exactly what I said to my grandmother when the 24-hour news thing was starting to come out and newspapers were still a big deal. And there was a guy they were going to execute in California. And then they paused it. But Then they executed him. By the time the paper had come out, it said on the front, execution paused. But he had already been executed afterwards because there was some other thing they got around afterwards to the Supreme Court. And I looked at my grandmother and I go, this news is already dead.
Yeah.
Well, it's like,
Yes.
I mean, Dewey defeats Truman.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
It is just, because you're guessing,
Right.
right? You're guessing.
Well, yeah, and that's how it always was. I
Yeah.
mean, the news was old by the time you got it, but you didn't find out why it was old until the next day.
Yeah.
And then what you learned was new whenever you were reading old news was old because there was new things happening. You just didn't know it.
Yeah, because whatever happened in your city, right, and whatever happened in you'd get on your local television.
Right.
But, World News Tonight was world. Like worldwide sports on Saturdays. Holy mother. Whoa, we're going to see something. And they would always show a soccer game. It would be like 7 minutes of the soccer game. Then they go to like long distance skiing.
Right.
And then they would go over here to
Yes.
to the dogs that would run and jump off the dock. Like, that's how they live. Whoa. And National Geographic. Oh,
Yeah.
we couldn't even figure out what it was like to be over there.
I had a subscription to the National Geographic.
Probably because you couldn't get Playboy.
No, that
Everybody's like, you guys want to see boobs?
No, I liked looking at the animals.
Yeah, it was cool, right? It was
Yeah.
cool. But remember, was it Marlon Perkins? He did that show
Mutual of Omaha's
Mutual
Wild
of
Kingdom.
Omaha.
with who's the guy that just that was his buddy? That was the guy that would do everything. The guy that was the big animal guy. Let's go over. Because Marlon would just stand there and say something. They're like, let's go over to Dave. Dave's getting attacked by a lion.
Well, they did have that scene in the opening shot of Marlon wrestling with an anaconda.
Yeah. So, but that is the thing about when you think about modern world that we live in, as we talk about all this free speech and everything.
Jim Fowler.
Jim Fowler, that's right. When you think about as all of how technology has changed, the world's never been closer at our fingertips. And the world's never been, it used to be super expensive to go to Europe and to do stuff. You can hop on a plane today and fly over, spend 3 days in Europe and be back on Monday morning for work. No big deal. That used to be like the trip, the family, the only one they would take.
Be like a 2-week ordeal.
Yeah, it would be. We seeing these places, that's what one of the big things about the Olympics was back before the technology that we have now it was a big deal because you were going to welcome the world into your country and people got to see what your country was all about. Nowadays, it's like I just go online. I see anything I want to see.
Yeah. Yeah, we would have to go to I would have to. I remember I used our encyclopedias for homework, like the encyclopedias my mom and dad had. I would actually reference that for homework at times, and
they were, 10 years old at the time?
yes, they were. Yeah, they were like printed in the 60s.
Wow. Those things. Isn't it crazy when you go back and because I was in my kids' school in Arizona picking them up, and they had one of those old encyclopedias, like one of those ones nobody's ever touched since it probably came with the bookcase when they got the building.
Right.
And I opened it up, and it ended in like 1982 or something. That was it. Like nothing happened after that. That was it. By the way, who is this? I feel like somebody said they only buy Playboy for the nudes, just like you only buy it for the cats. So there.
Hey, there were great articles in Playboy.
Oh, there were. You know what? People forget. There were because they would do what Stern used to do. They would be able to get to somebody and have a conversation with them that they would never have with the New York Times,
right,
or People magazine or things like that because the audience they could handle stuff. By the way, a little breaking news. 3 Russian jets have violated airspace over Estonia for 12 minutes.
I bet you that was just an accident.
Yeah, probably. He would never do anything like that.
Yeah, Putin wouldn't provoke something.
No, God, no. No way. You kidding me? He would absolutely, if given the opportunity.
Considering the shape his army's in, he's kind of, he needs to chill
It's
out.
like playing with fire. It's like, dude, you
Really?
got nothing left. And he knows that don't go to Poland. Don't go to Poland. They're ready to roll. Poland's ready and willing.
Well, and apparently Russian troops are, from what I saw yesterday, I think it was, they are suffering massive losses trying to take another part of eastern Ukraine.
Yeah.
I mean, they are just massive losses.
It is a
I mean, they can't handle Ukraine, man. I mean, I guess they could if they went full blown, maybe.
yeah, if they brought in a lot of their better fighters that are because he's just doing numbers. That's all he's doing at this point in time.
Do you think he's like just throwing like
Anybody.
what is it called?
Conscripts. He's just who's ever there, you're there, and that's it. He this is the kind of thing where they'll go to a village and basically you're all going up to the front line.
Hey, Grandpa, retirement's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so because his goal is simply you guys are going to run out of bullets. And the thing about Belarus, when they were there the other day doing that was a huge deal because it is the shortest path to Kyiv. I mean, it's a stone's throw away, and that's where But here's the thing: they don't have a big army at all because it's his army. Belarus is his army, even though it's
pretty much.
Yeah. So he could easily walk over there, take that army, and move them straight across. But the one thing that he doesn't have, and he realized, is his technology was so far behind, and China's starting to get a look at what their technology is and how far behind it is. So, our stuff on the ground, point, shoot, easy, and technologically 1,000 times better than everybody else's. So, yes, we do spend a lot on weaponry, but, I mean, come on. You've got villagers holding off Russian, army for a long time, and now they're conscripts. They just don't have enough people and bullets to pull this thing off. Oh, it'd be crazy, though. Could you imagine that? What's Estonia going to do?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They call us into it. So there's that.
And we'd write a strongly worded letter.
A strongly worded letter. Dear Xi, the TikTok thing, we're not going to do it now. Kidding. He is doing it.
Oh,
So he's going over there, right? To see Xi?
yeah, he says he's going over there early part of the new year.
I like the Chinese food, Xi. I'm not going to lie to you. I do. I like the orange chicken.
I don't want to go to Beijing, though. I want it to be Hong Kong.
Over there, they just call it food, though.
No, it's called the Chinese. It's called the Chinese food. What do you guys think?
Don't trust China.
Okay.
Man, part of me, I mean, I applaud the president for doing this, and I wish him the best. But I just see Xi, Kim Jong-un, and Putin. They're just waiting this out.
Yeah.
They're just waiting this out, man.
They're playing him as much as they possibly can. We're going to wait it out. We're going to see if we can run the clock out. And,
they're going to say all kinds of nice things, and Xi is going to do just what Putin does.
Whatever he wants. Because they don't fear. And it's with the trade war, they don't. The whole taco, Trump always chickens out. There's a portion of that when it comes to China. These people handled it better than they thought they were going to. And Trump's not interested in something that would potentially bring a recession. And the short-term pain, even though it might be long-term gain, in politics, we don't give people the long-term gain anymore. I mean, we're a TikTok world. So, if the recession's not over by lunch, you're fired.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I don't blame him for that, but, I just thought he's going to do, like you said, he's going to do the same thing.
Yeah, and Xi knows the uproar that will happen if, for some reason, the Trump administration says, you know what, we couldn't come to a deal, so TikTok's going away.
Yeah.
He knows the kind of uproar that would happen in this country. Trump knows it, too.
Of course. And, this is going to be interesting. All of this is going to be crazy. The TikTok stuff is interesting, too, because of who's buying it. Because Ellison.
So now instead of the Chinese getting all your info, Ellison will.
Well, yeah. Well, he's already got it, right? Because of Oracle.
Well, they're already watching us through our TVs.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Oh, yeah, they are. Just know that, guys. If you got a Chinese TV, it's listening to every word. It's collecting data. It doesn't know what it's going to do with it. It's collecting it.
Yeah, I told my wife last night, I'm not dancing around in my underwear anymore.
Not anymore. I'm not doing that Tom Cruise thing for you anymore, darling.
We're done.
He's lying.
Now he just does it around here because we don't have Chinese TVs because we don't do Chinese stuff.
These are American TVs.
This is Zenith. They still make TVs?
I don't know.
Oh my Lord!
Zenith.
That's an old school.
That is, man. I love to see.
So, do I think that China, North Korea, and Russia are going to wait for JD to get in office? That's a good. Well, here's the thing.
I mean, that could happen.
Yeah, North Korea is China will always protect them to a certain extent, but they don't want them to go anywhere. It's like everybody always says, well, why don't we just go in and replace? No, because China will never allow that because that is their NATO. If South Korea took everything over and it was just Korea, they're on their doorstep. They want no part of that. They like the buffer. So, but I don't know. I think they're going to wait for as long as they possibly can, and because they have the time. See, the one thing Trump doesn't have is that time because he has an out date when it comes to his presidency.
Right.
These guys don't.
These guys. How long has Pooter been in?
Whatever pretend thing he is.
Yeah.
22 years now.
Yeah, 22. Because he's gone from being president to prime minister to pretend president to king to lieutenant general, all of them ruling the country.
Right.
So,
and now he's setting up plans for his son to take over.
Yeah.
Well, something I saw. I meant to bring this up with you boys the other day when I saw this, and this was new to me. And pardon me for my ignorance. I didn't know that India participated in war games with Russia.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem.
That is a problem. But that's part of the deal. They are mad at us because of Modi is mad at us, and he's willing to. He looked right at us basically and said, no, I'm not going to. He didn't really want to join anybody's side. He wants to be as neutral as possible and do what's best for India.
Yep.
And so if he sees that we're pushing him and trying to force him to something, he said, fine, this is what I'm going to do. So a lot of stuff to get to today. Obviously, some stuff about Charlie Kirk, a little Finally Friday sounds, a bunch of other stuff, some crazy stories as well. And the Ticketmaster story is awesome. We're going to talk about that as well. Reach out to us across all the social media. This is Chad Bench Show, Super Talk 997. October 2nd, my buddy, Zach Abraham, Chief Investment Officer at Bulwark, wants to talk to you through the webinar. Doing an awesome webinar. It is happening 5:30. So join it. It's absolutely free. You can sign up at knowyourriskpodcast.com. They're going to talk about how they do what they do when it comes to investments, 401ks, retirements, how they build and continue to grow. They're so far ahead of the market this year. It's awesome. And the big reason is they go globally. They look everywhere. So that is something that I don't think a lot of people realize. And they're just amazing at what they do. And they build plans out that are right for you and what you're looking to do with your life and your retirement. It's absolutely free. It takes about 30 minutes, 5:30 our time. And you sign up at knowyourriskpodcast.com, knowyourriskpodcast.com. It is October 2nd. That's a Thursday for the Back to Basics webinar with Bulwark Capital Management. Investment advisory service offered through Trek Financial LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Investment for our risk, not a guarantee. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Trek 25298.
Well, a federal judge dismissing President Trump's $15 billion defamation lawsuit against the New York Times, and CBS News reporting the U.S. Senate just rejected that House-passed short-term funding bill to avoid a government shutdown. These stories and more at 12:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Oh, no. The government's going to shut down.
Here we go again.
Oh, God, how will we do it?
Actually, this is the best possible outcome because they do less damage when
They do. This is the best. And you know what's going to happen in the 12th hour? They'll pass it. You know, it'll be just past like 2 a.m, right? And they're all slaving over there, and they'll just pass it, and then they'll celebrate because they did their job.
And this is all this bill is an extension of the Biden budget with Obama's last security bill renewed.
Yeah,
Deficit spending.
They just kick the can down the road. It should be, if you guys don't pass an actual full budget, we don't go forward.
And nobody goes home.
Nobody goes home. And you know what? Everybody else gets paid but you.
There you go. That'll motivate.
Right? Let's do that. Let's do something like that. Good God, that just right. And then they celebrate like, oh, God, let me pat myself on the back. Fantastic job I did by going yay or nay.
Hey, Speaker Johnson, what happened to regular order? I'm a little busy. I can't talk about that.
Yeah, I can't talk about that right now. I'm dodging all kinds of questions about free speech and this Epstein character. Oh, that's not very nice, but it's honest. It is honest, kids. We got so much stuff. We're going to talk a bit about the what's going on this weekend. And a question for you guys about the Charlie Kirk thing, plus some free speech stuff, because some of the stuff you can't think for a second. Hey, this isn't what I'm signed up for. Okay, I mean, I didn't sign up for the FCC to crack heads and threaten and have Trump come out. If they say bad things about Trump, we should get rid of him kind of thing, take their licenses. That is not what we're about. I don't think Charlie Kirk for a second would think that was a good idea, or anybody else who likes, I don't know, freedom. Talk a bit about that as well. If you're missing the show, shame on you. Grab the podcast. It is the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7.
$12:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast in 5 minutes, and a federal judge has dismissed President Trump's $15 billion defamation lawsuit against the New York Times, but giving him 28 days to file a revised complaint. And CBS just put out an alert that says the U.S. Senate has just rejected the House-passed short-term funding bill to avoid a government shutdown. President Trump calling his phone call this morning with China's President Xi, quote, very productive, but he did not announce specifics on a deal to transfer ownership of TikTok to U.S. companies. And Ticketmaster under fire. Federal regulators suing the company for letting scalpers buy millions of dollars in tickets and resell them at higher prices. Here's ABC News Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katursky.
Ticketmaster has been under fire for years.
This was a terrible experience. I'm really disappointed.
In 2022, millions of Taylor Swift fans were shut out of her Eras tour when Ticketmaster's servers went down. Ticketmaster denied wrongdoing, but there were lawsuits, even congressional hearings, and Swift herself called it excruciating.
Cannabis use in pregnant women has been linked to issues including preterm birth, low birth weight, and neurocognitive and behavioral dysfunction. And the nation's leading OBGYN group says those risks have not gone away. Here's ABC's Brian Clark.
The American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists says there's greater availability, legalization, and social acceptability around cannabis use. It says that's fueled a misperception that cannabis is safe to use during pregnancy. The ACOG says it's not and is calling for increased cannabis screening before, during, and after pregnancy.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
All right, guys. Busy bee. Brr. Busy bee. Big year price event. Savings are buzzing around for your neighbors. So you're your neighbors. You're for your neighbor refers you. Guess what? $50 off credit right there. Bang, bing, boom for HVAC maintenance. Now, we're going through this HVAC stuff. Like if you get a new HVAC, free 5-year labor warranty. That's awesome. That's with every purchase. Top of that, National Grandparents Day. Well, it's all month. They're celebrating with you because they love grandparents too. So if you're a Beehive member, you can gift a Beehive membership to a set of grandparents. Great deals off plumbing, $500 off water and drainary pipes, $300 off tank to tankless water heaters. And check this one out. Big one, baby. With any HVAC repair or scheduled maintenance, you're going to get a free dryer vent cleaning. That's free indeed, dryer vent cleaning. Protect your own, protect yourself, and breathe a lot easier right there with Busy Bee. Call them today, no matter what it is, heating, cooling, plumbing, you name it, 775-7833, 775-7833, or visit them online at busybehvac.com. Do, 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 do. 51% of Republicans in a new poll say country's on the wrong track. You're going the wrong way. People are nervous, both sides of the aisle. You know, we're you know what? This is the way I equate it to. We're nervous. We're not a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs with some nutritional overachievers in them. But we are nervous because there's a few rocking chairs and there's some people that are plump in them. But I get that. I get, you know, why people feel that way. And I think they're looking around too. I've talked to many of my friends about the whole Kimmel thing, and on both sides, they're nervous because it's talking about going after, I mean, blatantly calling him out already. That's just it. We're going after this guy. We're going after that guy. I'm not a fan of that. I'm sorry. You can't be. That's not who we are. That's not. We've got to do better. And, you know, this is Trump promised, as did Carr, the FCC chairman, as he railed against any kind of, free speech at all that was impeded upon. And you just can't do this. You can't. And the sad thing is, you're making Jimmy out to be a bigger story than Jimmy needed to be. You do. And I'll tell you, and I was telling, if you guys didn't hear the whole comment, so everybody plays the part where Jimmy Kimmel says something about it being MAGA. The thing that bugged Trump wasn't that. It was afterwards. Because afterwards, Jimmy played a thing where they asked Trump about how he feels about his friend being killed. And he says it's awful or something to the tune. But then he says, but look over here. Look at all the work we're doing on the ballroom. Things are going great over here. And that's the thing that really pissed him off. That is. We're doing great. Fantastic. Better than Ticketmaster. Dude, that Ticketmaster story. That's the, I was telling Ken, of all the things that affect you story-wise, we talk about a lot of these things, and free speech obviously is a big one, but everybody has used Ticketmaster at some point in time in their life. And it used to be, it wasn't the worst, because Ticketmaster was always the last, thing was going to a scalper, but Ticketmaster was okay. Now, as Ken jokes around and says, oh, I can't believe they're in bed with other companies and bots. It's nuts. So every time in theory, and this is what the rule is apparently, they should be hit for $53,000 every time that there's a bot that uses this and they can trace it back to Ticketmaster, essentially allowing this to happen. Because they're in bed with them, Ken.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that corporations and Ticketmaster would work together to make more money.
I would find it hard to believe that anybody would think that corporations would try hard to make more money and screw the people.
Yeah,
Did you guys find that hard?
That's unbelievable.
I find it extremely hard. That's not even possible. Everything's altruistic with them, and
they're just trying to help people.
You know what they are? They're trying to help you get tickets that cost more. What was that? The story you played where the guy bought tickets for like $88,000 and then sold them for like $170,000?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a business, but the business is so skewed in such a way now with the bots and these companies that specialize in these things. It's crazy.
Yeah, let's see. Where was that?
If the devil sold tickets to hell, it'd be through Ticketmaster, says one person.
Yeah, the government claims that one scalper purchased 772 tickets to a 2023 Coldplay concert for about $81,000. Then those same tickets were sold for over $170,000.
Sweet mother of goodness.
Scary thing is there's apparently a market.
Well,
that's
the market is we don't really have anywhere else to go. Like everyone,
I'm saying those prices are not stopping people from buying.
Yeah, if you want to go,
right.
If you want to go,
right.
there's a market for it. And for me, I don't mind paying a little service fee here and there. But the thing that drives me crazy, it's the same thing. Like you ever seen that? $19.99 for long stem roses, and then you buy them to send them to your wife and your girlfriend or whoever it is you're doing it for. Then you get the thing, and it's like $75.
Yeah,
for what? And the same thing with Ticketmaster. Fee after fee after fee after fee after fee. It's crazy. It is. I mean, and you buy 5 tickets. You don't even print them out. You put them on your phone now. And what happens? They charge you 5 different times. You're not even getting tickets.
right.
It is. The frustration level from people, I understand. Who was it? Was it Pearl Jam that tried to do it without Ticketmaster? That thing went to hell, right?
Yeah, because Ticketmaster has so many it has exclusivity with so many different venues. It was hard for them to book shows.
So yeah, see, that's the other thing. That's the part of it. Like, I'm glad you brought that up, Bell. Bell for the win today, guys, on this one. Let's do it for Bell.
Way to go, Brother Bilal. Yes, sir.
So,
way to go.
Ticketmaster, it's not just that they're the servicer of the tickets. They also have all of the contracts with the venues. So you trying to find it, you might as well just go to the park at that point in time. Because trying to find a venue to facilitate, and they do offer a service that's good. The difference is, though, it is so big and is so powerful that when it comes, you have no choice to go through it, and they understand that. And while their service is good, they make sure that everything runs smooth and all that. They do a good job of that. It's frustrating because it shouldn't be that expensive, and they know this too. They're going as long as they can
Well, and the biggest promoter in the country, which is Live Nation, actually owns Ticketmaster.
Yeah. See, there you go.
Which is a little funky.
It's it's a subsidiary of, and who else does tickets? You've got Ticketmaster. There's got to be a couple other big ticket companies.
Does Live Nation?
Live Nation owns Ticketmaster. I want to say, God, who else does tickets that I can't even think of?
I have no idea.
Yeah, that's how's that not a money? Normally, everybody talks about how monopolies are good or bad. You keep your prices low, nobody gets in the industry because there's no reason to try to compete with you. I mean, that was kerosene when it was the biggest thing in the world. I think it was it Carnegie or Rockefeller, one of the two, had cornered the market. And he was the only one that had kerosene. He kept his prices so low, it was never worth anybody getting into it.
Yeah, there's no enticement for other people to go, hey, I want a piece of that pie.
Yeah, but I look here, if I could start something good like this, why not? Really, really, really what you want is just to be able to add a 50-cent service charge onto everything because nobody looks.
Yeah.
But you get that, good God, how frustrating. And it doesn't matter what it is. Those service charges eat you up. Good God, we'll see what happens. I mean, here's the other thing when you're a business that big. Do you think maybe you have some lobbying power?
No.
You don't think so?
No, of course not.
Thank goodness, man. I thought for a moment they did. Whew. I thought for a moment those guys were going to lobby. Probably not. So here's a question. And I asked this earlier on my show. Can you name one person that's not an ex-president in the Democratic Party, in the establishment, in the fringes? It's not a politician, so it's maybe a congressman, but one person that can bring together 70, 80, 100,000 people this weekend at a funeral? Can you name one person that you could see that happening to on the Democratic side? I can't name one at all. I think the Democrats are going to get a real snapshot this weekend when they look over there and go, you know why we're losing, guys? Because there's 100,000 people over there for this guy's funeral. He wasn't a politician, and his reach was immense, and it's only gotten bigger, and we can't even fill a gym. Could you name one? I mean,
that's a good question.
I can't. I can't even name another Republican that could. Again, outside of Trump, yes.
Yeah, but you said no
presidents. Because you could always say Trump and Obama. I still think people would show up. I don't think they do it for Bush. I don't think they do it for Biden. But I think Trump and Obama, you could get something that big. But I don't know.
I don't know.
No.
No, I mean AOC. No. I mean, she and
even
Bernie.
the places that she and Bernie were playing were not even half that size.
Yeah,
I saw where she's thinking about running.
Yeah, she is
28.
I think she is.
That statement became fallacious at the word thinking.
Okay, that's not very nice. So somebody said Oprah.
I don't know.
I don't think Oprah could. I don't. And one of the big things is for an older generation, we may revere somebody. We're not traveling, to the funeral. I wonder how many people came to see. Was it Carter that lied in state?
Yeah.
Because that was interesting. But the amount of people, because here's the thing, everybody who could go to Carter probably went to Carter. Obviously they could, because there's a lot of people, but I'm not going to. But many of you chiming in go, I would love to be able to go to this thing this weekend. And I get that. And I can't remember something like, where else I can remember something where there was this kind of thing? Kobe Bryant. I think they could have, they did it at the Staples Center because obviously that's where he played all of his games. But I think they said they could have put him in the Coliseum. There would have been that many. He wasn't a politician.
Yeah.
And Diego Jota, a soccer player, died earlier this year for Liverpool, who was only like 26. They did a big thing at Anfield where he played. But I could not think of like any kind of politician that would have this kind of reach, and at the age that he was, too. And it's.
Yeah, you're right, man. I don't know. I don't know if there is one.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't even know who their leader is. Who is the leader of the Democratic Party? I guess it's still President Obama.
Yeah, and I'm not sure he wants to be. I think you know what I think? I think Obama's getting frustrated because they come back to him on a daily basis to get his answers for everything. And I sometimes when I watch him, I think he thinks, you guys, I want to make Netflix shows and hang out and do other stuff. I don't want to do this.
Right. My wife is getting mad at me for doing this.
Who would be the, I guess the leader, honestly, if I was going to say of the younger side of it, man, I don't even, maybe AOC. Even AOC now is pulled away from the rest of the squad. You know?
Has she really?
Yeah, I think she's pulled away.
Separating
herself, she's just gotten a little bit bigger. You know, she needed to leave the Supremes. That's the way you kind of look at this one. But I don't know who else would be the leader of the party because they don't have that voice. And even outside of the party, this is why they're going to look this weekend too, and they're going to realize something. The podcast bro world, all that stuff, they don't understand how to reach a younger generation outside of pink-haired girls and guys who want to be girls and gender studies majors and, activists. They don't know how to reach that average young person.
And Trump's an a-hole.
Yeah.
That's all they
by the way, isn't going to win you any future things.
Right.
Is it?
That's all they can do. They're not coming forward with any ideas.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not.
Socialism, but it ain't exactly a new one.
No, it's not. But Mondani has a stronger reach than I think 90% of the people in Congress and Senate.
Dude, you may be right.
And partly because, much like Charlie Kirk, he gets it as far as going to the young and talking to them.
Yep.
Which is a big deal. So, goodness me, what a day. So much other good stuff to talk about. Reach out to us across all of our social media, at Chad Benson Show. Let me know who you think. If there was anybody you could think of outside, again, take Obama's gone, all that. Who else? I don't think the Democrats have it at all. I don't think they have any part of it. I don't think they have anything where if anybody that was a big muckety-muck star, whatever, that you're going to get all of these people, including the president, to go to their funeral and the entire cabinet, which is crazy. The party has fallen so far. Just nuts. Reach out to us across. Let us, all the social media, let us know. You can text the program as well. Chad Benson, Super Talk 997. Rough Greens, ruffgreens.com/chat. Vitamins, minerals, probiotics, omega-3, 6, 9, all that stuff. You hear me talk about it with the dogs. Our dogs love it. My mom's dogs love it. And I say that because my mom's dogs are ginormous, and they love it. And one of the big things is it's really helped them, she said, with their energy, but they're so much more active and mobile, and they're giant dogs. I mean, the smallest one is a St. Bernard, for God's sakes. Those things are huge. And she loves it because they love it. They eat it up, and it's helped with their coat and their shedding. It's helped with their digestive tract. If you love your animals like I love my animals, they've got it for cats as well. Try a Jumpstart trial bag of Rough Greens. It's not going to cost you anything. It's a few bucks, and they're going to send it out to you. It's a $20 value. You get it for free. And one scoop a day, it's going to give them energy. It's going to help with all of their stomach and their teeth, their gums. It's amazing supplement. Number one for dogs in the country, hell, in the world. It's incredible. Try it. ruffgreens.com/chat. ruffgreens.com/chat.
Well, the path to avoiding a government shutdown just got real muddy. I'll tell you about it at 1 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Gonna be muddy. It's funny reading some of the stuff. People are trying to figure out who could be that next leader. And I don't, I even thinking about what celebrity could bring this many people. Somebody said Michael Jackson.
You'd have to go to Taylor Swift.
I was going to say Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift.
Celebrity here.
Beyonce.
Yeah. Tom Cruise because of the space Mormons. But shit about his face. You think that's what they would do? He'd want to do his own stunts even in death. There would be, trust me, there's an actor, I'm sure, in India. I forgot his name, who's like the actor. That guy would probably have 1 million people at his funeral. But, that's just a neighborhood. So
in India, that's
it's a small village.
That's Madison.
So, but I couldn't think of, really, I couldn't. I mean, I cannot think of, especially because obviously the age and the whole 9 yards, but it's just the outpouring of also hate, which shows you what he did. Right? The haters are going to hate. It was always haters are going to hate, as Taylor would say. But when you think about it, the fact that there is so much pushback shows you how much he got under their skin. And I was been thinking about this. I told my wife, I said, I think they're going to get I think quietly behind the scenes, they won't say it out loud. They're going to go, guys, we got a lot of work to do. Like we gotta tear this thing down to the nuts and bolts and start all over because we are so far behind. How is it that we've got all of Silicon Valley? Well, not anymore. They used to. How is it we had all of this stuff, the young influencers and all these people, yet we couldn't build anything out of our own like this? How is that? Because you allowed you built in a way that there was no center piece with an ideology that was built in something that was real. And you have no real leaders, the young. And the two ones you do have, Mondani and AOC, they get it. But even the Democrats want no part of Mondani, which is hilarious. Did you see that they're not even going to endorse him? The New York Democrats aren't going to endorse him.
Yeah, you still have those establishment who they don't want any part of that.
No, they like their money. They like their crony capitalism. No doubt about that. Coming up, hour number 2 of the program. A bunch of stuff we didn't get to. We'll talk a little bit more about Kimmel, obviously. Got some interesting stories about, I got a great, we're going to do our Finally Friday next hour, but I got a great story about a new product that's out there that, honest to God, I thought it was a Saturday Night Live skit. It is that awesome. It is. We'll do that in the next hour. Straight ahead, Chad Benson Show.
One o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Looks like we have a return of a chance for storms this weekend. Full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. The path to avoiding a government shutdown is unclear now that the U.S. Senate rejected the short-term funding bill the House passed this morning. The House-passed Republican bill, which would have funded the government through November 21st, was blocked by Senate Democrats 44-48, falling short of the 60-vote threshold needed to overcome a filibuster. Meanwhile, in a federal courtroom in Florida, a judge directing President Trump's lawyers to try again as they aim to sue the New York Times and 4 of its reporters for defamation. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy has the story.
Tampa-based federal judge Stephen Meraday blasts the president's attorneys for putting forward what he calls a decidedly improper and impermissible complaint against the New York Times. The judge isn't ruling on the merits of Trump's defamation claims, but rather the content of his 85-page filing. Meraday says it's filled with laudatory statements about the president and superfluous allegations against the newspaper that the reader must labor through. He's ordered Trump's attorneys to refile a much shorter complaint in a professional and dignified manner within 4 weeks. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
President Trump says he's going to China. First, he says he'll meet with President Xi in South Korea next month at the APEC summit. Then he says he'll go to China to meet with Xi early next year. And he says that Xi would come to the United States at what the president said was an appropriate time. We still don't have any details of the president's discussion with Xi on a TikTok deal. Ticketmaster under fire. Federal regulators suing the company for letting scalpers buy millions of dollars in tickets and resell them at higher prices. Here's ABC News chief investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky with details.
Ticketmaster is facing a civil lawsuit that echoes the frustrations of fans.
I would click on it and it would instantly be like, no, this ticket is sold. You can rebuy it for $9.50.
The Federal Trade Commission and 7 states allege Ticketmaster and its parent company Live Nation knowingly allow and in fact even encourage brokers to use multiple Ticketmaster accounts to circumvent the system, meaning scalpers can buy more tickets than posted limits allow and resell them at a markup.
Here in Tennessee, the people of Memphis waiting for the arrival of the National Guard, but some city council members have put together a resolution that would urge Governor Bill Lee to reject the plan. Memphis pastor Kenneth Whalum Jr. telling the Dan Mandis Show the press conference announcing the resolution was organized by 2 council members, one of them running for governor, the other running for Shelby County mayor.
Well, Stevie Wonder could see that their motive for opposing the National Guard is to get free attention. And I don't understand how educated voters could even fall for that kind of thing.
The resolution will be voted on next week, and that's the latest news. Weather is next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, ABC would like to bring Kimmel back. In fact, in the meeting they had, nobody was really sure what exactly he had done that was so horrific. The MAGA thing, Yeah, you know what? He did that. But Trump is not happy with the late night people. And he now has somebody in Carr who is willing to go and push the envelope. And he's going to do it more. He is. He's going to do it more. And this is, when everybody said, don't knock Trump or why are you doing this? Are you against? No. You know what I'm against? First of all, and I'll tell you guys this, I'm for us, period. That's it. That's all I care about. I care about us. I want our Constitution protected. I care about us, the people. And the fact that he would even intimate that, hey, they make fun of me at night. We can't have that kind of stuff. No, that's exactly what we need for everybody. We need people to be able to criticize power. That's a must. No matter if this was Joe Biden and the FCC, remember what happened with the what was it? They had the Twitter files. You had all of these things. How up in arms was everybody about that? And we should have been. Absolutely. 100%. When Obama went and slapped down the IRS and said anything with freedom or a flag on it, we need to be able to push back. We do. And to threaten networks and say...
I read someplace that the networks were 97% against me. I got 97% negative, and yet I won it easily. I won all 7 swing states, popular, but won everything. And if they're 97% against, they give me only bad publicity or press. I mean, they're getting a license. I would think maybe their license should be taken away.
I think maybe their license should be taken away.
That's something that should be talked about for licensing, too. When you have a network and you have evening shows and all they do is hit Trump. That's all they do.
That's it. Yeah, they hit him. But that. They're comedians. That's what they do. I was watching stuff the other day. I watched Johnny Carson unload on every single one of the presidents. Didn't matter. And he unloaded on him once in a show and he moved on. Yeah, Colbert and them, guess what? Nobody's watching them. You know who watched Johnny? Everybody. Johnny would pull it at night. 12, 15 million people stay up late to watch him. Those are the kind of numbers only the NFL gets now. But to say that you would even think about that as a president, say, well, maybe we should pull their licenses. I don't know about you guys, because what happens if there is a president AOC? And she decides, hey, you know what? I don't like the way this, and this is going. I look at talk radio. Maybe we need to even this thing out.
Yeah, there would be nothing. He would have set a precedent that would allow the next person to go, well, no, I'm not doing anything different than the previous guy. Yeah. So I'm going to shut down Cumulus, or I'm going to shut down Odyssey, or I'm going to shut down iHeart.
Yeah. Yeah. He came out and he went after Seth Meyers, which, by the way, I had to look at what Seth it is because I had no idea he was still on TV and even had a show. And he had and Jimmy Fallon.
Trump is doing more to give these guys publicity than anybody else. If he would shut up and leave them alone, they're going to die their slow death, and they aren't going to be around for that much longer.
Yeah. No, they're not. And that's the whole thing. I mean, you turned Jimmy into a martyr for the left. But you also gave, if you think, and here's the thing, stop trying to make excuses out there that it's okay that, well, if they're mean to Trump, because what's next? Because that's just going to scare everybody to say, well, I can't criticize him if he does something wrong. I don't care who this is. I went after Biden and Obama, and I went after Bush. I went after Bush a lot because to the day I kept saying we have no reason to go into Iraq. There is no reason. There's never going to be a reason to go in Iraq. They didn't bomb us. They didn't attack us on 9/11. They didn't do it. You have no reason. But I went hard after, and I will go hard after everybody who if they do something wrong. If they do something right, praise them. Am I right, Bill? Am I right?
No, I agree.
So, and it's and you get do you hate Trump? No, I don't hate Trump. First of all, I don't hate or love any politician. That's a lot of energy. I give that to my family and friends. Not the hate. I don't really hate them, but that's love. But what I do hate is the fact that people are trying to make excuses that it's okay. And trust me, I've talked to a few politicians over the last couple of days who are terrified to say, this is awful. We can't allow this. But they won't speak up because they're worried he's going to crush them.
Which makes them spineless.
They're not even a good kind of jellyfish. Because what's going to end up happening, and the fear is they will not be in power one day, because there's ebbs and flows, and this is how we get the extremes. And then they're going to come in and they're going to say, we should do this. We need to regulate this. We need to go do this. And all of a sudden, you're going to have a situation, and they're going to have to even this thing out.
That was a real possibility.
So you would have a situation where you would have a liberal, you'd have Dan, and then a liberal, and then me or Matt, and then a liberal, or you just wouldn't get it anymore.
Or you'd just have liberals.
Yeah. So, wake up, Chad. Kimmel and the others are more left-wing propaganda. Doesn't matter.
The left calls conservative talk radio propaganda all the time.
All the time. That's all they say we are. And again, they're saying stuff. They're comics. We're allowed to joke. That's the beauty of free speech. You guys don't like that. You want them to disappear. You want them to go away. You want them to shut up. Is that the thing that Trump is above reproach? Because some of you feel like he's above reproach. You can't say anything about him or the administration or anybody because you're going against. No, I care about us. I care about Trump's not going to be there forever, and somebody else will replace him. And if it's somebody on the left and all of a sudden this is happening and they say, hey, New York Post, you guys can't publish this anymore. You remember when that happened with the whole thing with, was it the laptop? How pissed was everybody about that?
Yep.
We've got to be able to call balls and strikes everywhere. That's my fear. It's not about the man and whether he's a good man or a bad man. I like some of the stuff he's doing. I don't like some of the stuff he's doing. That's fair. But I don't like this.
And it's always more important to keep your team legit than it is to necessarily attack the other side.
Yeah.
Police your own house before you go after the other guys, because all they're going to do is come back and talk about how dirty your house is.
And that's the one thing that both sides are afraid to do in today's world. They're afraid to call out their own. Unless they know there's some safety in it, right? Like if it's a mid-level congressperson that's not going to get in trouble and they said something stupid, you can call them out. But we have to police our own. We do. And this has nothing to do, this has all to do with the Constitution and our freedoms. Because I want us to be able to, because I don't want to be in a situation where, hey, guess what? AOC, if she ends up being president, we can't say anything bad about her. And do you think Charlie Kirk would be really thrilled to know that they're trying to get rid of people? I don't think so. But he's going to. I can guarantee that. He's going to make this move because he's going to do it for as long as he possibly can and use the FCC guy, Carr, to do this to see what happens. And yeah, they're propaganda, but here's the thing. Do you watch them? You don't watch them. I don't watch them. Hell, if it wasn't for talk radio, nobody would know who The View is on the right or who Brian Stelter was, the potato. But I want it open. I'm a free speech absolutist, and I do not want to see any portion of the government coming down and threatening. None of that. Because then you go from there, and then what do? Does the government get to start programming the shows? Do they get final say on the scripts? It's all we're asking. Just honesty right there. That's it. We got to have this conversation. And a lot of people don't want to. I get it because they feel like it's an attack on Trump. But when you say stuff like, well, they don't like us, we don't know if they should get licenses anymore, that's a threat from the president. And if it was Obama, you would lose your mind. If it was Biden, he's already lost his mind. So it doesn't matter. It never happened that way. We asked a question earlier, and several of you chimed in, and about the funeral this weekend with Charlie Kirk. Can you name a single Democrat, and it can't be a president? I'm trying to think of anybody, even in modern times, that could get that. You said Taylor Swift. Yeah, probably Ronaldo, the soccer star. But I couldn't think of, there's no politician I could think of, or anybody, like Jon Stewart wouldn't get this. He wouldn't. The kind of, this is an NFL stadium that's going to have 70 to 100,000 people, because they're talking about another venue on the outside. That's massive.
Yeah, they're expecting over 100,000 people to.
Over 100,000, exactly.
To show up.
Yeah, that is crazy. When you think about, first of all, parking is a nightmare. I couldn't even, that's just and who's carrying it? Who's going to be carrying it? I'm sure Fox will carry it. All the right-leaning stations will carry it. I don't know if anybody, CNN might carry it.
Yeah.
By the way, CNN.
Next star will.
Yeah. By the way, CNN's about to go to the right, just to let you guys know.
Are they really?
Hardcore. Because somebody's buying it by the name of Larry Ellison.
So does this mean we're going to see a lot of people fired?
I think we're going to see a lot of movement, and some people are going to be leaving for sure. And some people are going to be coming in, maybe that you're going to be like, It's going to be interesting indeed. A lot of stuff still to get to today. We got more on free speech. Obviously, Charlie Kirk. We got our Finally Friday sounds as well. Reach out to us across social media. Check us out. You can text the program. Bell, where do they text us at?
615-737-9986.
There you go. Text the program. Let us know what you think. Good, bad, and indifferent. We love to talk to each and every one of you. It is Chad Benstow, Super Talk 997. All right, prize picks. I got my prize picks in my hand right now, actually. I just did a couple picks. It's awesome. Prize picks is easy. You're picking players and their stats. You're not picking games and, any of that stuff lines. And it's so awesome. You can go across sports. So I've got, and you pick a lineup by picking two or more players. So today, I'm just going to throw it out there. I picked soccer. Anthony plays soccer. And he's going to have at least 1.5 shots. I think more than that. And then I got a freebie, essentially, which was Patrick Mahomes this weekend, that I think he's going to throw more than half a yard. That's just it, more than half a yard. So he throws one pass for a yard. That's it. You win. It's that simple, and you win. The lineups are 2 to 6 players. You choose, and you win up 2,000 times your money. And I'm doing quite well this year. I'm not going to lie to you guys right now. So this is what I want you to do. Download the app today, and here's a great thing. Use my code CHAD. It asks you right there. You put in CHAD. When you do, they're going to give you $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. It is that simple. It's more, it's less. Use your knowledge in sports and have some fun. Prize Pick. Download the apps. Use code CHAD. Get $50 instantly when you use my code CHAD. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Hello, men and ladies. Want to be thinner? About my friends over at Contours, Cool Springs. What? Go over there. Belly Buster package. You go buy the Belly Buster package, and this is what it is. It's going to melt it away. And all for this month, it melts away the fat, and it's incredible. You're going to lose 2 inches across your chest and your belly in the first go, which is awesome. It's non-invasive, and it's amazing. And they're going to take care of you. So my buddy Keith, they're incredible. I'm telling you guys, that's the best round. But here's the thing. They're going to give you a med facial, $1,500 worth, absolutely free. It's not a one and done thing. We're talking about a almost like a full kind of pulling back into a whole new face. It's $1,500 value. You get it for free just for doing the Belly Buster. Now, go try it. Lose the inches, guaranteed. You go there, it's $99. You try it. If you don't lose the inches, you don't pay a thing. But you're going to lose, and you're going to love it. You're going to fit better. You're going to feel better. You're going to look better. And take advantage of that $1,500 free facial. It is incredible. So go right now. Call them, 615-236-9960, 615-236-9960, or visit contoursllc.com to schedule. What do you got to lose but inches and wrinkles?
Terrible news out of California where a baby is missing due to severe weather. This story and more coming up at 1:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
By the way, it looks like, did they find that Travis Decker guy?
They found his remains, didn't they?
Is that what that is? Yeah.
I think they believe they have his remains.
And that was the guy that killed his little kids.
Yeah,
and then wandered off into the woods.
Yeah, 2 daughters, 5 and 9.
You know what? And this, I know it's not Christian, but you kind of hope that when he was hiding out there, that like a Bigfoot came by or a bear and just tore his ass apart. Right? And you kind of hope that, like, this is, you do. It'd be one of those things where we saw the bear eating him and we decided not to do anything. And we're not going to shoot the bear because he did us a favor. Or she. It's Friday. On Fridays, we have a lot of fun. It's called Finally Friday. Play some music, a little George Jones, listen to the chaos, the craziness, and the lunacy that was this whole past week.
Every second you go over 45 seconds.
But they didn't. They've got a contract. They're probably going to do this. They weren't going to keep. They may keep the show on. They may not. I mean, if he goes, he's going to make a lot more money. But everybody's like, ABC got rid of him because of bad ratings. They didn't. This didn't happen until the pressure came on. So if you guys, to give you guys a snapshot, the Next Star said, we're pulling our stuff. Okay, so they go and they pull their stuff. And they're the biggest TV group in America. And they want to buy Tegna. They can't. Because you're only allowed in this country to own 39% of audience, essentially. So that's all you can reach. So they don't have a monopoly on regional and local affiliates. Carr, the guy that runs the FCC, says, you know what, I'd be willing to look at that. I'd be willing to look at that and figure that out. And so next thing you know, boom, this happens. And then ABC goes, well, we got to do something. They weren't going to pull him. They weren't. They may not have renewed him, but they weren't going to pull him. So he, that there's an issue there. And remember, Trump said after Colbert, Jimmy, you're next. He said this the other day about Seth Meyer. I almost said Seth Rogen, but he doesn't have a show. Seth Meyer and Jimmy Fallon. Now you losers are next, or whatever he called them. Again, I had no idea Seth Meyer had a show. And yeah, did they hammer Trump? Jimmy doesn't really hammer Trump so much, but do they? Of course. Yeah, that's what they do. They're liberals. They're going to hammer Trump. And does Fox hammer the left? Newsmax? Now, there's cable. They're different. So they don't really, the FCC has no play over them. Only technical stuff, not anything else. But we want to keep them. We want to keep everybody honest. I don't care if this was J.D. Vance as president or if this was Obama as president. I would hammer all of them for even thinking about that. And when they did do it, I went after them. We should demand freedom of speech. So we should demand. And everybody's like, well, if the left went, the left's gone after Trump. And by the way, Trump gives as good as he gets. He loves a fight. He loves a fight. And he loves to fight back. And he's good at it. And he sues. So there was, just the fact that the FCC hinted at, and the hint was, the silver or lead. That's kind of a pretty big hint right there. We shall see. All right, coming up. Got some other good stuff. We got a great product here, kids. A great product that apparently is supposed to be all the rage for the elderly. So we'll talk about that straight ahead. If you missed the show, share me to grab the podcast. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997.
.1:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Looks like we got a crash right now blocking the right lane. 40 westbound, going to be right there at 840 in Dixon. That's west of Nashville. Full forecast in 5 minutes. Terrible news out of California where a baby is missing due to severe weather.
2-year-old Xavier Padilla Aguilera and his father were swept away in floodwaters as his father was trying to get them out when their car got stuck in quickly rising water. The vehicle was swept away. His father could not hold on to the child in the current. The father was found on an island. Xavier has not been seen since. Moisture from a tropical storm that moved up from Mexico created thunderstorms in the mountains north and east of L.A. on Thursday. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Government shutdown on October 1st is now a possibility after the Senate rejected both Republican and Democratic funding plans today. It happened hours after the Republican-led House passed its own temporary funding measure. A federal judge has struck down President Trump's $15 billion defamation lawsuit against the New York Times. The judge giving Trump's lawyers 4 weeks to refile that lawsuit in what the judge said was a, quote, professional and dignified manner. And President Trump spoke by phone this morning to China's President Xi. ABC News, White House correspondent Karen Travers with the latest.
President Trump is calling his phone call Friday morning with China's President Xi, quote, very productive. But he didn't announce specifics on a deal to transfer ownership of TikTok to U.S. companies. He said only, quote, appreciate the TikTok approval. Earlier this week, he said a framework deal had been reached. The president said he'll meet with Xi at a World Leaders Summit in South Korea next month and intends to travel to China in the early part of next year with a visit to the U.S. by Xi at an appropriate time. He said they also discussed trade, Russia's war in Ukraine, and fentanyl. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
And that's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
All right, USS, come out there. It's United Structural System. Come out there and give you a once-over to make sure that those cracks that maybe the leaks haven't got underneath your house, that you don't have issues in standing water somewhere in your basement, your crawl space, your foundation issues. They're going to take care of all of that for you. All right, so if you got any visible cracks, basement floors, walls can't be sealed, and maybe you're thinking, ooh, we've had some rain, we had the snow, you never know what ends up happening and sitting down there, and you just don't see it. They'll come out, give you an absolutely free inspection, and they're not going to sell you anything you don't need. 30 years in business, and they're amazing. Call them today if you have any issues whatsoever because you don't want the wood rot and the mold. No, thank you. Let them get to it before it gets too big. 615-488-7855, 615-488-7855, or check out everything they do online at ussTN.com. Everybody's always taking a swipe at soccer. How many hundreds of people will tune in to watch a boring soccer game? I don't know. Let's see. The World Cup final probably have 2.5 billion. Let's see here. That's what? Every 1 in 4 people on the planet? That's pretty good size. And the NFL, by the way, the NFL, so the first week's ratings came out. Insane. I think 11 of the top 15 are NFL programs. I think there's one college game in there as well. Football is king. I mean, football. Football is king, baby. Football. Just interesting. A lot of, again, I fight like this stuff because this stuff matters to me. And the Constitution matters. And I wouldn't work anywhere where somebody told me what I had to say. And I wouldn't do that. Like, God, who were we talking about yesterday? Was that group, that television stations that all had to read the same thing? Oh, that would be so insane. It would be. Can't have it, won't do it. Not going to do it. Just wouldn't be prudent. Oh, we got another person lunging at a judge. Hey, did you see, we were talking about Taylor Swift. Did you see the songwriter for Jesus Take the Wheel died?
Yeah. Yep. In plane crash?
Yeah. Don't fly little planes. My buddy Keith has a little plane. He's like, you should go. No. If I'm worth $1 trillion, I'm still flying around commercial. I want somebody else taking care of that thing all the time.
If you're worth $1 trillion, you're going to be in your own 747.
Actually, if I'm worth $1 trillion, you're coming to me.
If I'm worth $1 trillion, I'm already where I want to go.
Yeah. That is.
If I'm worth $1 trillion, I'm getting a Star Trek transporter.
I'm kind of bummed we don't have one of those. Do you know how fun it would be to just go, hey, I'm going to Paris, and just go there? That'd be great. Because flying does suck. It's better than it used to be. But it does suck. I want to be somebody like, and what's the other thing that's kind of weird too is why haven't things gotten so much faster for us to get from point A to point B? It's like it was 12 hours, a flight from L.A. to London, 5 hours flight from L.A. to London, 40 years ago. It's the same thing now. Why isn't it like 45 minutes? 2 hours. And I know part of it's because it breaks the sound barrier and stuff. That's why the Concorde went really fast, but wasn't the best built thing. So I saw this today, guys, and I thought there's no way this thing is real. I'm like, it can't be real. Now, what hurts old people more than anything? What's like the most dangerous thing to old people?
Falling down.
They have a new thing that's actually out where if you fall down, it blows up like if you're in a car crash.
Like an airbag.
Yeah.
Air seat.
It cost $1,000 and it's on Amazon. And I was watching this guy try to use it and he kept throwing himself down. He was with a wrestler and they were trying to make it go. It never went off when he hit the ground.
Oh.
Finally, when he sat up, it went off. And so then they redid it again. And just about when he was getting ready to fall and make the move, it went off again. But only his head. Because it goes around everything. And they're like, well, because everybody knows this. Grandma breaks a hip. There's not a lot of stories out there where grandma or grandpa break a hip and they're like, they lived another 20 years. I mean, that's it. That is
falling down, man.
Is such a horrible thing.
Yes.
And so, but the other thing was, so it's a vest, right? It's like it looks like a bulletproof vest. Like you're going to put that on your grandmother. Here, grandma, this weighs 90 pounds, but if you tip over, you should be fine. But it only goes around your midriff. So your hip could still break. Because I remember my grandma, and I don't know if you guys have stories with your parents or grandmothers, or whatever, but my great-grandmother, Huida, we didn't hear from her for like 3 days. And they sent me over there, and she had been stuck in the bathtub for like 2 or 3 days.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
She ended up all right?
Yeah, she lived for a few more years, but she fell and she got stuck in the bathtub and she couldn't get out. She had the strength to do it. And that's when we decided she can't live,
Yep.
But you hear about that all the time because it is so dangerous. I mean, falling down kills. We talk about bees and the wasp and the sharks and the bears. That ladder, that little thing in your house, that thing that will trip you up, if you got grandma and grandpa's house, you go over there and you look down and they kind of shuffle their feet, you better move all those rugs.
Yeah, it's good point.
And the bathroom, man. That is the scary place for the elderly.
Hitting the head.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, it's such a compact space. It's, if you trip or something or slip, you're likely to smash into something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And get stuck too, because unless you have those.
Got to have those walk-in.
Yeah. Oh, man, I'll do me a walk-in.
I would do a walk-in.
I'd do a walk-in in a heartbeat, baby. Wouldn't you? Just kind of open it up. Woo, just because it looks like you're in a mini jacuzzi.
Yes, sir.
They've made him look cool enough now where you could be in your 30s and like, check out my walk-in. Right? This is pretty cool. That makes you look that cool. Because before they were like, oh, you're old. But even the ones that they have now with the metal bars and stuff that they put in, your grandmother falls. She doesn't have the strength to get up a lot of times. Your grandfather. They don't have the strength to get over that or pull themselves up. That's the thing you check on the elderly. But it was, just my mom goes, you got to go see what's up with Great Graham. And I said, all right. So I drove over there. And because we'd already taken the car away from her. My mother and then decided that was enough. She drove by her house one day like 5 times just in circles. And she could park anywhere. So she parked. She parked about 8 feet from the sidewalk. Mm. And she came on in. And my mom goes, it's time.
Yeah.
But as you get older, you don't want to lose that independence.
Right.
And you don't want to take that from them. But you've got to be honest. And when I saw this thing, though, man, this guy was throwing himself on the ground 100 times. He couldn't make it pop. He was looking at the lady. He's, I don't think I can do this anymore. I don't. Bell sent me this last night, and we were talking about it yesterday. If you guys didn't see it, it's a hot topic of conversation. Hot topic. So, dude, the CEO of Steak and Shake has Cracker Barrel stock and a decent amount. It's not like he owns a share. And he's pissed. He's mad. He's like, this is not what you guys are about. You guys objected. They lost $700 million in market share. Think about that. Because he wants that to himself. I feel like we're going to get a Steak and Shake / Cracker Barrel battle here. Dude wants it for himself.
Sounds like he wants to absorb them and become CEO of both.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but because he's looking around going, I got $54 million in this thing, and you're losing market share because you tried to build Chili's meets IHOP in a place where people don't go for Chili's meets IHOP. Lady, the guy that's eating your food, he's got a flannel shirt on. He's a Vietnam vet because he's got his hat on. He's wearing both suspenders and a belt. He doesn't want quiche. He wants pancakes and scrambled eggs. And then he wants to go over and buy a giant chocolate bar because he thinks they're funny.
And then a big old chicken fried steak smothered in gravy.
Man, I love chicken fried steak. It's wrong. Isn't it weird, too? You're like, I'll have a chicken fried steak. Oh, yeah. Do you want toast? Can you give me pancakes? Because I'm not gross enough. Oh, and yes, I would like the hash browns. But I'll take a Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness me. I just love the fact that he did that, though. I thought it was hilarious. Right there. Man, just here. Boom. What do you think of that? What do you think of that? Who are you fighting with, Bell?
Nobody.
Oh, I love Bell's over there fighting with people. It's great. People chiming in. Because, we were talking earlier about the free speech, and it got some of you riled up. And know that Trump's in charge. This is Trump administration. These are his people. And they're not doing things that he doesn't know about. And so the criticism about him going after anybody over what they say and write, and that they potentially, we'll take their license away. We got to look at that. That is not who we are as a nation. That's not at all who we are. And we need to protect that because we want to be able to criticize the next person if they're on the left, right? Not the right, but the left. President AOC is real. She comes out because she is floating that out there, isn't it? Now, Belle, what would you do if she became president of the United States?
I guess I'd spend our next dinner telling her that she still needs to keep her mouth shut and look pretty.
Look at you. Nothing about going to the kitchen?
We'd probably be having the conversation in the kitchen.
In the kitchen. Is this the new Oval Office? We're kidding, guys, right? We always have to preface everything. We're kidding. You guys get that, right? Yeah, you guys get that. Oh, my Lord. Just like anytime you say something.
He wants to date AOC.
Oh, yeah, you get that. He didn't say date, by the way. Just want to let you know that. He didn't say date.
I have no interest in having a conversation with AOC.
Goodness me. You wouldn't? I would love to sit down and talk with her. I think it'd be fun. I would. I like to talk to anybody. I don't care. I'd love to talk to Mondani, right? Love to talk to Bernie. Love to talk to Trump. I mean, we got into it once before, but I'd love to talk to JD. I think it would be great to have a sit-down conversation, like a real conversation. Like yesterday, we had Gino on, Bolsara, and it was a conversation because that's what I wanted. It's funny. I'll tell you guys what he said to me afterwards. It was very interesting because I said something in between the breaks, and then afterwards we had a conversation about it. It was very eye-opening. It was very interesting. So we'll talk about that, among other things, straight ahead. If you're missing the show, share me to grab the podcast. Happy Friday, everybody. It's Chad Mensa Show. All right, guys. Birch Gold. Rates came down a little bit. Dollar still weak. Not having a good time there. You've got inflation kind of just tipping up a little bit. Plus, you got unrest around the globe. And that's one thing about gold is unrest, banks, financial institutions, they look at places that they can put their money where they know, hey, we can diversify, and it's a great way to hedge just in case. That's why I want you guys to contact Birch Gold. And if you're new to the gold industry, contact them. You may have a chance to get a rebate of up to $10,000 in metals absolutely free. This is what I want you to do. Text the word Benson to 989898 now for Birch Gold. They're going to get you out the info kit, let you take a look at it, and no hard sell, none of that stuff. They'll show you how you can move a 401k or an IRA over into an IRA backed by gold, and you'll have a chance still at getting a $10,000 rebate on precious metals. Text the word Benson now to 989898 today. Get that info on gold and how they can help you at Birch. That's the word Benson. Text it to 989898 now for Birch Gold.
All right, drivers west of Nashville, we've got a crash blocking the right lane, 40 westbound, right there at I-840 in Burns in Dixon County. And the prospect of a government shutdown on October 1st is intensifying. We'll tell you about it at 2 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Oh, I hope they don't shut down. That'd be awful.
Oh, what are we going to do?
Oh, I don't know. Oh, God. Oh,
it'll be the end of the world.
This is it. Oh, my God. What will happen? Oh.
Nice knowing you guys.
That is just so, like I say, they're going to pat themselves on the back afterwards. They all rush out there and talk to Wolf Blitzer, whoever's on the other end of the line. Dude, he's so tiny. I was, when I was at the convention, he was in front of me. He was like a hobbit. I grabbed him. I'm like, where's my gold? Oh, that is so funny. So when are we going dark?
October 1st.
I would just, you know what? Because this is the playbook from the Dems right now. It's super smart. They're using the playbook that the Tea Party used. Shut it down.
Shut it down, man.
Shut it down. We're just going to shut it down. It'll be on your watch. We're going to shut it down.
Of course, Trump may say, okay.
I'm good with that. It's fantastic. Turn the lights off on the way out. Did anybody see that I'm building a big ballroom over here? Big, beautiful ballroom. It's going to be sponsored by Trump coins.
General Electric.
Oh, goodness. Trump coins are fantastic. It's going to be great. So I just, that is, that's what drives me crazy is they celebrate as if they did something. That's your job. That's it.
Here's the deal. They may let it shut down because, I mean, there's, the midterms are they're still a year out.
Yeah, they're still a year out. And this isn't going to have anything crazy to do with the economy. And it's not going to last forever. They'll come up with something. They'll come up with something that gets them through the first of the year.
I know. It'll be deficit spending.
Oh, God, no.
Of course, in the House, you know who voted against it on the Republican side.
Massey.
Yep.
Yeah, of course.
And then the Indiana state rep, Sparta. What is her name? I got to go back.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, she did.
John Rose actually put out a press release saying he voted for it, which is like, thanks, John.
Yeah, good. Fantastic. Vote for him. He's not. Is he fight? No, that's another guy. Okay, so here's another guy. Here's what we'll do it next hour with Gino. What I told him afterwards, because I'm glad he came in. He's a commie because he doesn't like mayonnaise. But I told him, look, our entire premise of the show is mayonnaise. It's condiments. It's great value condiments, among other things.
Yes, sir.
So just to let you guys know, but I thought it was a good interview. It was fun yesterday. Want to get some more people on before it, and we asked everybody to come on. And by that, I mean, Bell's like, I'll get to it. And then he doesn't. But still, who else did you email? You emailed Rose. You emailed Reeves.
Yeah.
And other person.
I'd have to look at my list. It's in the other room.
Email anybody. I'm looking right at you guys. Coming up, hour number 3 of the program on this beautiful Friday. Chad Pet Show, Super Talk 997.
Two o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. And in our nation's capital, the prospect of a government shutdown on October 1st intensifying with the partisan deadlock in the Senate, where both Republican and Democratic funding proposals failed to advance. The stalemate happening despite the House's earlier passage of a Republican-backed stopgap spending bill. Both parties blaming the other for the impasse. House Speaker Mike Johnson stating Democrats' bill was a set of partisan demands, while Democrats accuse Republicans of crafting their bill without bipartisan input. In an order that reads like a judicial smackdown, a federal judge in Florida is directing President Trump's lawyers to try again as they aim to sue the New York Times and 4 of its reporters for defamation. ABC News national correspondent Stephen Portnoy.
Judge Stephen Meraday, a George H.W. Bush appointee, says the 85-page defamation complaint violates procedural rules, saying it's filled with superfluous allegations against the New York Times and laudatory statements about the president. The judge cites several examples, including this one, a claim in the filing that The Apprentice represented the cultural magnitude of President Trump's signature brilliance, which captured the zeitgeist of our time. The judge has ordered Trump's attorneys to try again with a short, plain, direct complaint within 4 weeks. Stephen Portnoy, ABC News, Washington.
Yeah, Trump is seeking $15 billion, claiming reporters lied about him in a book and in the newspaper. Ticketmaster under fire. Federal regulators suing the company for letting scalpers buy millions of dollars in tickets and then resell them at higher prices. Here's ABC News Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katursky with more.
The government claiming one scalper purchased 772 tickets to a 2023 Coldplay concert for about $81,000. The same tickets were resold for over $170,000.
One medical group is out with a warning with increased availability, legality, and social acceptability of cannabis.
The nation's leading OBGYN group says there's a misconception that cannabis use is safe during pregnancy. The American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists says it's not. Cannabis during pregnancy has been linked to preterm birth, low birth weight, NICU stays, and neurocognitive and behavioral problems. ACOG is calling for increased screening before, during, and after pregnancy, including while breastfeeding. Brian Clark, ABC News.
Right now in Middle Tennessee, the Wilson County School Board hoping for a robust response. Parents and staff will soon get a survey to gather input on a plan to offset the bus driver shortage by staggering the school bus schedule into 3 parts.
I know sometimes in the past we've struggled with parental participation, but the comments I'm already seeing online just from us discussing this are very split. So there are options here. What concerns do you have? That's an area for comments. So participate, add your comments. That's your chance to have a voice about how you feel, so please participate.
So Wilson County school parents and staff, look for that survey soon. That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Yeah. That story about weed. You know what you shouldn't do? Smoke anything when you're pregnant or drink. I have pictures of my mother holding a cigarette and, she's got herself a screwdriver while I'm in her belly.
That's just your opinion, though, man.
Yo, man.
It was back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah. Dr. Spock wasn't cool then.
Yeah, if you're still smoking or drinking while you're pregnant in this day and age, nobody can say you weren't told.
No. I mean, it's like now, if you start smoking today, you know. The thing, the vaping, because everybody thought, well, if vaping, it's better than smoking. And then, we're going to find out later on, it's probably nowhere near as good, probably bad.
Yeah.
We don't know. I mean,
the only thing that's supposed to go in your lungs is air.
That's it. That is
nitrous.
the only thing. Nitrous. Oh,
just kidding.
That is just.
Frank Booth agrees with you.
Yeah. I love how nitrous. Who are you, Bill? I don't know you. But I just hey, we found out that weed's bad for you and the kids.
Might not want to breastfeed after you've taken a gummy.
Oh. That is just
or
so
smoked
crazy.
a joint.
Oh, yeah, they didn't say anything about a gummy. You know why? Because there's probably a doctor out there. It's like, I have trouble sleeping. You took a gummy. You're going to be fine. Your kid's not going to grow out to be a Rastafarian or anything. Get off your feet. You're going to be good. So Gino Bolsa was in here yesterday, and I said to him, because I'm like, dude, you need to relax. Because I'm so couth. So you just kind of relax a little bit, just chill. And then we came back from break, and afterwards I said, you just got to, and he goes, I have a tough time. He goes, my staff tells me that too. He goes, because I'm a trial lawyer, and I'm very buttoned up, and I'm doing it. And I get that, right? And it's, I said, just relax. Because that's part of the thing about, Trump. Love him or hate him, people admit there's something about just the way about him. Same thing, Clinton, just the way about him. Good people, like, who would you like to have a drink with kind of thing? Who would you like to hang out with, have dinner with? Obama, Trump, those kind of people. Biden would be great because you get all the food because he wouldn't even know you're there. And you're getting ice cream. That's what I heard. I heard his finances are so bad right now.
Really?
I heard they're horrific.
Well, you're not seeing him out there on the talk circuit.
No.
Jill must be letting him balance the checkbook.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I heard that they were supposed to be bad. They said he's going to die in debt.
Goodness.
They said he's struggling for cash, and he will die broke and in debt. Which is, when you think about it, that's crazy.
Maybe Hunter can toss him some of that Burisma money.
Maybe. Well, he didn't do it right. I mean, Burisma. So what did they get? What did he get from Burisma? Was it $20 million? Or was that the Chinese?
The Burisma, I remember he was getting $80,000 a month.
$80,000 a month. That's right. $80,000 a month. His net worth is supposedly $4 million, but they're saying he is bleeding for cash because I think he's what they like to call he's asset heavy. So he's got a lot of asset, like he's asset rich, but the cash just isn't there. And normally it used to be back in the day, you retire as you're done with your presidency, and then you go on the speaker circuit, and they pay you $50,000 for a 30-minute speech, and you do 10 of those a month. But nobody's paying Joe to wander out there and go, where's our dog-faced pony soldier, and we beat Medicaid.
He's going to sell the Corvette.
Yeah.
And where's his book?
Where's his book? It's a pop-up book.
Oh, Kamala's got a book out there.
Oh, yeah. Did you see what she said about Buttigieg?
Yeah.
So if you guys didn't hear, so Kamala's book is out there. It's called The Ramblings of a Mad Woman Who Took Some Tranquilizers and Had a Sip of Zinfandel. That's what it's called. You know what else? She's also not read that book. But that's what I used to love. The one thing I loved about her is every time she'd start talking, I'm like, this is going to be good, right? She's always that kid in the classroom. Like, she didn't read the book, but she's going to try to. She looked at the cover and she's going to try to roll with it. So she said that she wanted to have Pete Buttigieg on the ticket, but she couldn't do it because she was already asking America of a lot to a woman of color, all the usual stuff.
So she played that card.
Yeah. She goes, and we couldn't ask America to put me and then a gay guy, right, on the old ticket. And he was like, kind of like taken back by it. And you know what? He's probably thankful.
Yeah.
Because
I was ready to say, man.
I mean, that's like buying the ticket as the Titanic's sinking.
Yeah.
And the other thing is they probably came to her and said, he's totally going to outshine you. You understand that, right?
So they were already at the DEI quota and they didn't need to go one more?
Yeah. I guess. Well, she didn't think America could go one more.
I tell you who else would have outdone her is Shapiro.
Oh, Shapiro wanted to know. I think he walked in there and goes,
he'd have taken that over, man.
Yeah. That guy is good. I'm telling you guys, if you want to look out for a Democrat that's quiet and ready, it's that guy, Shapiro.
Him, and I think that governor of Maryland.
Oh, Wes?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good too. He's very good. Those are people that look strong and I think they could bring some energy to the Democratic Party. But outside of it doesn't matter because AOC is going to be president. It's just so funny, though. Pete Buttigieg. Have you heard the rumor about Pete?
No.
So I had several gay friends, and they've all said the same thing over the last several months, which unasked or anything is. And then I started seeing online, Pete Buttigieg isn't gay. Their gaydar doesn't go off anywhere. They think.
I think it's an act.
Yeah.
Well, if he's not gay, he's really doing a poor job of proving it because he's married to a dude.
That was when we were younger. I'll let you guys in on this. Wasn't that every guy's dream to get married to their best friend so they could go pick up chicks every night, and only one of them had to work to get insurance? Oh my Lord. But that's the rumor that it was like for play. I'm like, there's no way. By the way, you really, like you said, that is a part you're playing there. That is a part you are really playing if you think that he's just pretending. And that beard doesn't make you look older, Pete. I'm sorry. That was also the other thing. No matter how good he is, nobody was ever voting for their nephew.
Right.
Because that's what he always looked like. He always looked like your nephew that was too young to be in the bar.
I think he made a mistake joining that administration.
Oh, 100%. I interviewed him. I've interviewed him several times, and remember when the what was it called? when they passed that giant bill, Build Back America bigger, ballsier or whatever it was.
Build Back Better.
When they passed that infrastructure bill, he was going around and he came out to Arizona on several occasions. He came in. First of all, dude was as nice as it gets. I mean, just absolutely super nice. And what you kind of see is what you get. It's not that much of a put on. And he is very slick, though. He kind of got, he's good at it. But I think you're right, though. I think that really hurt him in that. Because sometimes you can do that. You could get into an administration and think, this isn't helping me. This isn't giving me my cool points I'm hoping it's going to give me. But we said, what do we call you? Because he was secretary, of transportation, whatever. He goes, call me Mayor Pete. I'm cool with that. And he was a nice guy. You know who else was nice? But big. Chris Christie.
That's a big old boy.
Yeah. He was on it. He did the surgery and it didn't work. He did.
That's a waste of money.
Yeah. You know who's losing all the weight now is Pritzker, who wants to be president as well. And,
oh, yeah.
Because if you guys have not seen him,
too.
he's giving away his fat pants soon. You could tell.
No, you got to keep the fat pants because you might slide.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, you're like, I don't ever want to get in these things again. So, but I want to get rid of them because that way I force myself to lose weight. And everybody should always have a pair of pants that is it's like the whistle or the alarm that goes off. You try them on every couple weeks, and if it gets tight, we're like, I got to go running or do a sit-up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Plus, you never know. You might turn into the Incredible Hulk, and you don't want to rip your pants.
No, you don't want to rip your pants. Those would be horrible. Sandra, why are you trying to help the Dems? When did we try to help the Dems? What did we say? Did you try to help the Dems?
Bell?
Bell, did you?
I have no comment.
Yeah, no, I never tried to help the Dems. I'm not trying to help anybody. You know what? You guys got to help yourself, right? Unless, of course, you guys want to pay all of us here. If the Democrats come and say, guys, we're going to give you guys $30 million, can you go find out how we talk to young men? And we'll grab that money, and then we'll take them over to, one of those restaurants that's like Twin Peaks or something. And we go, this is how you talk to young men.
I'll take my money and disappear.
And Bell will go build his giant, huge underground bunker.
Luxury underground bunker.
With a cow.
No.
I thought you were going to get a cow.
No, you suggested the cow, and I
we're
said
asking
no.
how are you going to get meat?
You have to stock up on all that food and stuff that lasts 25 years.
So Bell thinks that, this is the end of the world stuff because Bell apparently wants to live through the end of the world.
I do.
He does. And then here's a question, though, Bell. Just how long do you think it's going to be before you surface?
Never.
Oh,
Why would you come out?
You're doing the never.
Why would you come out?
I don't know. You wouldn't be curious?
Well, I'd have a periscope that I could pop
periscope. Like that movie. Do you remember the movie Red?
Yes.
Do you remember with the John Malkovich's where he had the car that you'd go down through it? That would be you.
No, it'd be much more fancy than that.
Okay. Much more.
I'll have cameras everywhere, and I'll have 50 cows that can be operated by remote control.
Oh.
Mines around the...
But everybody's gone.
Well, you never know when a zombie's going to show up.
Oh, you're expecting one of those. 4540 said, I think Sandra's for you say which would be good Democrat candidates. Oh, well, yeah. Look, being a good...
It's not like they're going to listen to us.
Yeah, I know. I mean, if I was them, the only person right now I'd even think about running is Rahm Emanuel, because he's the only one that doesn't sound like he's insane.
Not Newsom?
No.
Think he's nuts?
No, never.
Yeah, didn't Rahm Emanuel tell like a round table or something? It wasn't broadcast, but he said, here's what we're going to stop doing. We're going to stop talking about men in women's bathrooms.
Yes. He said we need to stop talking less about the bathrooms and more about the classrooms.
Yes.
I mean, look, I think it was brilliant. They played right into the hands of the activists in the Democrat Party, and they reacted to it with the transgender sports stuff, and they played right into, and they continue to play in. They don't know how not to play into this stuff, which is the reason they're going to continue to lose. They're going to continue to lose, and we need, we needed strong two-party system. We needed a strong 3 or 4-party system would be nice. Strong 3-party system would be nice. But to hold each other somewhat accountable, because I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, left or right, eventually, if you get too much power, it starts to go sideways. And you need everyone to be checked, as we're seeing right now. All right, coming up, I got a question about this weekend and the funeral that's taking place. We're going to touch on that. A bunch of other stuff still to get to. It is the Friday edition of the Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 997. WebRoot, let me tell you something. Your information, you probably don't want to hear this. It's out there already. Data gets hacked all the time. Little things. And a lot of times what happens is you don't even know. That's where WebRoot comes in. They're there to help you. They've got real-time protection against malware, ransomware, phishing. You know what phishing is, where you go and click on the link, and the next thing you know, your computer's, don't allow that to happen to you. WebRoot can protect you, your elderly parents, everybody from prey online that's looking for you all the time, and they're looking for your data. They've got identity protection. So TransUnion, they had 4 million people. Their data was completely breached. That's everything. We're talking about the whole kit and caboodle. Where do you think that stuff is? Right now, it's on the dark web somewhere. They've got advanced dark web monitoring, up to $1 million in theft-related expenses and reimbursement, credit and financial monitoring, all of that stuff. They've got a VPN for 5 or 10 devices, which is amazing. It's easy to set up. So if you're like, I'm not really computer set, don't worry about it. You're going to be fine. It's super easy to do. Get some WebRoot, protect yourself online, protect your family, protect your data, which is super important. 50% off WebRoot Total Protection or WebRoot Essentials. Go to webroot.com/Chad. Remember, that's 50% off right now. Webroot.com/Chad. WEBROT.com/Chad. Live a better digital life with WebRoot.
All right, drivers, we've got a crash reported by police. It's going to be 24 downtown going westbound. They're at the 65 north split. And a government shutdown increasingly likely. We'll tell you about it at 2:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Oh, you know, the government shutdown, it's the one thing is that the military doesn't get paid. Outside of that, does anybody,
But Social Security checks won't go out. Yes, they will.
Yeah,
Shut up.
Yeah, there's some. It's funny because both parties eventually had to put something in there that would force them, A, to stick around and try to get something done, and B, that would make the, Americans mad at them if they didn't do something, because it's all about putting pressure on the other side. Yeah. Well, the ball's in your court. So this is, because nobody else is. If they got paid and the Social Security got paid, nobody else would care. We're like, we don't care if you guys come in. In fact, it's better that you don't. Trump's probably thinking the same thing. Imagine what I could do now.
We wouldn't have needed Doge.
I'm going to go right over and unplug all of the network's televisions. Just plug.
There's like a big room at the FCC where everything's plugged in.
Oh, my Lord. So that would be... I get it, though. I get it. I get that's the only thing that ever gave me hesitant. I'm like, they're going to get paid, but that doesn't fix today. But that would be so. I feel like there's just a big switch somewhere. Just turn it off. Just unplug it. We're good. We're good. I don't know what else there is to do. Unless, of course, you unplug the internet. Oh, my Lord. What would happen there? Who could you tweet at if they unplugged the internet?
Man.
Yeah, being a federal
that'd be
employee.
something.
Yeah. Yeah.
All of a sudden, the world would slow down. Our stress levels would go down.
People have to look at each other and say hi.
Well, Gen X and Boomer stress levels would go down.
Mm-hmm.
The millennials and the Zs and the Bs, they wouldn't like it very much.
Yeah, they live in that. What does Jonathan Haidt call it? It's the anxious generation.
Yeah.
Anxious. They're anxious about everything.
Gen Angst.
Because they live online and, they're anxious. I mean, we just heard the promo, more violence here by youths. What's the deal? There's a lot of anxious, pissed off young people in this country. Everybody take a deep damn breath. We're going to have a Momo bird, and we've already got dire wolves. You want to be around for the woolly mammoth.
I can't wait for the teacup mastodon.
Oh, the teacup mastodon.
Wouldn't that be something if you had if you actually had a mastodon the size of a chihuahua? That's as big as it got.
I've always said that if you get a giraffe, a tiny itty bitty giraffe, that'd be huge. If you could have an elephant the size of a bulldog or a hippo, they got those tiny hippos. Look how cute a hippo is when it's little.
Yeah, those little bitty pygmy hippos.
Yeah. But I mean, if you could, do you know how many of those things you could sell? I can't keep them on the shelf.
You don't want a teacup mastodon.
No, I feel like it's getting bigger than that.
The dental bills alone would kill you.
I always feel like they, just like the other ones, they all get,
Did the mastodon, they had tusks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, no, I don't want to detusk them.
Yeah, I don't want tusks. Yeah, you got to be careful about that. Because even though it might only go up to your knee, you don't want him to run through you when he's playing. You're in the hospital.
All of a sudden, you notice you've got a tar pit in your backyard.
Yeah, it's oil. Just right through your leg.
The mastodon's like, I ain't going out there.
No way. That would be neat, though. If they could keep one that, because somebody's thought of it.
Making a little teacup mastodon.
Absolutely. It's something like that. It's like, we could just get this giraffe to be this tiny. I could sell 9 gills. You wouldn't. Bob, why can't I have a giraffe? Why?
Because you won't take care of it. Yes, I will, I promise.
No, you didn't take care of the mini mastodon, did you? Pooped everywhere and eventually died. Your dad had to throw that thing away in the neighbor's trash.
No, I threw it in the tar pit in the back.
Yeah.
The tar pit. It is no fun without a tar pit, right?
Gotta have a tar pit.
Gotta have a tar. That's part of it. That's like when you get the starter kit, like when you go buy a fish and they're like, here's the starter kit. It's the same thing. They give you a whole thing of tar and they tell you guys how to turn on your tar.
If the mastodon does anything wrong, you just like, you want to go in the tar pit?
Oh, you'd have to take it for a walk.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah. I used to take my giant lizard for a walk. It was a beast, about 6 feet.
What was it?
He was a Asian water monitor. And so I had to put him on a leash.
Ooh, a monitor.
Yeah, monitor lizard.
Ooh, those things are the real deal, man.
So crocodile monitors and Asian water monitors they're the closest relatives of the Komodo. They're all related, but his name was Norman, and he was massive. Like the kind of massive where if I held him in my arms, he would be over my head and his tail would be hitting the ground. We go for walks. Hey guys, if you think a little cute puppy gets chicks, walk somewhere with a 7-foot lizard. Oh, but a little mastodon? Oh my Lord, how fun would that be?
Yeah, you could put a little bow on it.
Oh, dress him up for Halloween. What's he going this year as a wiener dog?
He's a wiener dog.
All right, coming up, question about this weekend in Arizona about Charlie Kirk. Bunch of other stuff still to squeeze into this hour. This is Chad Ben Show, Super Talk 997.
2:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. Got the full forecast in 5 minutes, and a government shutdown increasingly likely after the Senate blocked both Republican and Democratic funding bills today. The Senate's partisan failure came after the Republican-led House had managed to pass its own temporary funding measure. Lawmakers now have only a limited time to reach a compromise before the funding expires October 1st. A federal judge dismissed President Trump's $15 billion defamation lawsuit against the New York Times, but gave him 28 days to file a revised complaint.
Just 3 days after President Trump filed his lawsuit, a federal judge tossed out the case on Friday in a blistering ruling that called the lawsuit, quote, decidedly improper and impermissible. Judge Stephen Meriday said Trump's lawsuit spent too much time praising the president and not enough time justifying why Trump believes he was defamed by the New York Times and Penguin Random House. The judge gave Trump's lawyers 4 weeks to refile the lawsuit in, quote, a professional and dignified manner. Peter Haralambous, ABC News.
President Trump says his phone call this morning with China's President Xi was, quote, very productive, but he did not announce specifics on a deal to transfer ownership of TikTok to U.S. companies. They also discussed fentanyl and the Ukraine war, and President Trump says he's going to China to meet with Xi. And it'll be first part of next year. Ticketmaster under fire. Federal regulators suing the company for letting scalpers buy millions of dollars in tickets and resell them at higher prices. Here's ABC's News Chief's investigative correspondent Aaron Katursky.
Ticketmaster has been under fire for years.
This was a terrible experience. I'm really disappointed.
In 2022, millions of Taylor Swift fans were shut out of her Eras Tour when Ticketmaster's servers went down. Ticketmaster denied wrongdoing, but there were lawsuits, even congressional hearings, and Swift herself called it excruciating.
That's the latest news. Weather's next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News.
Let's talk about Beacon Capital Management. They're going to help you with your taxes. And you're thinking, really? Well, about what? Well, you probably don't even know all the cool things that are inside the one big, beautiful, big, very big bill. Things like interest on your car loan. You can deduct that now up to $10,000. But these things will all expire, and there's certain parameters you have to hit, like it has to be assembled here in the United States of America. Some other restrictions. Above the line charitable deduction, $1,000 for a single, $2,000 for a couple. There are a lot of these things, and they sunset at some point. So you got to make sure you take care of it the right way and to take advantage of them. That's why they're in there. And then you go to something like this. You're over 65. This is the big one right here. You're eligible for an additional senior discount up to $6,000 with a phase-out. Although it's not a complete elimination of tax on Social Security benefits, it does provide valuable temporary tax planning options during these years. So take advantage of them. Beacon Capital Management can help you with it. They can show you what exactly you need to do and where you qualify for these things. And it's smart to contact them and say, all right, what can you do for me? This is what I want you to do. Check them out online, beaconcm.com, beaconcm.com, or call 615-488-9303, 615-488-9303. This is a paid placement. As we get older, your muscles get sore, right? A little exertion here and there. Next thing you know, for a couple days, you're like, you start working out more. Woo. That's why I want you guys to try Relief Factor, okay? So they got a 3-week quick start right now. It's $19.95, less than a cup of coffee a day. What is it? It's natural, all right? It's 100% drug-free, research-based formula. It's going to support your body's natural inflammation response. This is about you go and you work out and your arms are sore, your muscles are sore. This is not about your spine or stuff. This is about the muscles in your body and getting you to feel better on it every day. The formula is safe. It's non-addictive. It's ideal for regular use. I use it all the time. I'm more active than ever before, and I love the fact that I can work out every day, sometimes twice a day if I want to, without having to worry about not being able to do it for a couple of days because I'm sore. Try it now. $19.95, 3-week quick start, less than a cup of coffee. You're going to feel amazing. Go to relieffactor.com. That's relieffactor.com. Or call 800-4-RELIEF. That's 800, the number 4, RELIEF for Relief Factor. Ba-da-ba. Somebody said, plane crash in Western Kentucky. Plane went into the house, no injuries. Well, the house isn't well, is it?
That's lucky.
Yeah, no doubt. That is super lucky.
I thought you were going to say no injuries on the ground, but if there's no injuries at all, that's a miracle.
Yeah, that is a miracle. So,
no injuries after plane crashes into the corner of a home in Western Kentucky.
Kentucky.
The pilot jumps out and he's like, I had my signal on.
Crashes there. Whose plane is this?
Both the pilot and a person inside the home were uninjured.
That is amazing when you think about it. Like, uninjured.
Yeah. It says a Cessna C-525 jet landed at the Mayfield Graves County Airport but failed to stop on the runway, so it was already down.
Oh, it was already down.
Went through a grassy area and a fence before crossing Highway 58 and hitting a house.
Did you have that on your bingo card? Holy moly.
And the images, man, this is not like one of those little bitty planes.
Oh, it's a big one?
It's not. It's just not one of those little bitty ones.
It's a business-sized Learjet, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's, well, I'm glad nobody was hurt. Wonder what happened. But they were on the ground, though. Because when you hear a plane crash, you think plane falling from the sky into a house, and everybody walks away, and you're like, that is lucky.
Right.
But that was not this. What were the ladies' names that were driving it, flying it?
Left pedal, ladies, left pedal.
You guys are the worst. You guys are the worst. This weekend, obviously, the funeral, Charlie Kirk. Are they expecting 100,000?
Yeah, they're expecting at least 100,000 there. The arena only seats 70,000.
Yeah.
But there will be just a lot of people there.
So it is going to be, first of all, it's going to be eye-opening for the Democrats because they're going to see a show of force, of people in mass showing up for a guy who wasn't a politician, but the influence he has was tremendous. It's massive. And they don't have that on their side. They don't. We've been talking about, all of this, who could be the person? Like if you think about a politician or a Dem influencer or somebody like that on the left side of the aisle, I can think of one outside of Obama, Clinton, but it's different because they hold those in churches, but they give you the lying in state for a couple days. But I can't think of anybody, though, that could fill an NFL stadium.
Even the biggest influencer they have in terms of a liberal is Bill Maher, and he thinks the left is turning nuts.
Yeah.
And he couldn't do no 70,000, that's for sure.
No.
Well, he pisses a lot of Democrats off.
No, he does. Well, because... And you guys remember, we talk about free speech. We'll get back to it in a second. But you think about free speech. Do you guys remember what happened with Bill Maher? It was a week ago yesterday. I mean, it was 24 years ago yesterday whatever.
comment about
the comment about the hijackers, where he basically said you can say what you want about them, but at least they were brave.
Coming down with the ship.
Yeah. And HBO let him go. A ton of people were critical. A ton of people were pissed off about it. That's free speech. But but he did it just, I think 7 or 8 days after. It was like the first show he did afterwards about that. And, he recovered nicely. And like people talking about Jimmy Kimmel, and it's all propaganda, this, that, and the other. You pay these people to tell jokes and to do things, all right? They're not funny. First of all, he's not a comedian. Jimmy was never a stand-up like that, never. And the other thing is, he hates Trump. He does. He hates Trump. What did you say about when you asked Carolla about him?
When Matt was interviewing Adam Carolla one time, because these guys have worked together for so long and claimed to be great friends, I asked him, how does your friendship work with Jimmy, since you're so polar opposites on the political scale? Do you guys you don't talk politics? And Adam was like, well, he's not really as leftist as everybody makes him out to be. He just has to play the game to be able to keep his job.
I don't know how. It's funny because outside of hating Trump, I wouldn't even know what his politics is, really. Because that's all he does.
That's it exactly.
Yeah.
He just hates on Trump.
He hates on Trump. That's it. And by the way, that's not a crime. And that's not against the free speech. What he said the other day, and what he said the other day about MAGA was a lie. It was the joke afterwards, on that joke, when he made fun of Trump, when a reporter asked Trump, how do you feel about one of your friend, Charlie Kirk, being killed? How are you feeling right now? And he said, I'm doing okay, but look over here. We got the new big ballroom going up. And it was just kind of a bizarre, weird. It was just regardless of how you feel about it, it was just a weird thing to say. Like if somebody goes, how are you feeling about so-and-so? And they're like, you know what? It sucks. But hey, look over here. I got a new, like a parting gift.
Yeah.
And that was it. And so that really pissed, Trump was always looking for a reason to go after Kimmel, and they got it. And the FCC came down and they exerted pressure because those are licenses. He can't go after cable. They have no reach there. Not yet. Trust me, I'm sure if they think they could, they would. So at this point in time, he's going after it. But everybody says, well, they lie. It's propaganda. You could say that about every station, right or left. Do you think Fox gives you all of the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? They don't leave anything out? No. They all do. And they're coming at and supporting their side of the aisle because that's what the audience wants. But I even saw, what's her name? Kat, is her Frisch? How do you say her name? Kat.
Who?
On Fox. Kat Triff. I can't say her name. I think it's like TPIFF or whatever. She's great. I love her. And her and Kennedy were both saying the same thing. Because Kennedy's about one of the only ones I'll watch. And she said this whole thing about, it's horrible the way that Kimmel and a lot of these people act, but the fact that you would even insinuate that you would do this the easy way or the hard way to ABC, that's a threat. If you were in court and you said we're going to do this the easy way or hard way, and you were on tape saying that, what do you think that the jury would say? Oh, you're threatening them. Well, it's the same thing. And Trump already saying, well, they say mean things about me at night. They may not deserve a license. Once again, that's an FCC thing, but you've got a guy now that's willing to do your bidding. And they're going to push it. And he also came out and already threatened the other two late night hosts. So that's my frustration. Because you promised you weren't going to be that way. You promised you were going to be free speech. You promised all that. Those are the things you stood on. And by the way, the car guy, right, the FCC chair, the tweets about free speech that he went over and over and over again. We're never going to be like them. We're never going to take away your voice, even if you don't like it. And the minute the opportunity came, we need to protect that, because if we allow it to happen, and you're not going to hold your own side accountable for stuff, what do you think is going to happen next time when you're not in power and the other side has the power? So we'll see. I mean, I think they're going to bring Jimmy back at some time. I think they will. Unless I wouldn't be surprised, because they did not want to. They didn't think it was worthy of even being suspended.
Bring him back for what, though? He's losing them millions in revenue a year.
Yeah, they're all losing.
Who knows? Family Feud at 11 o'clock at night might catch on.
Steve Harvey is not giving that job up.
Like Family Feud.
What did CBS do? What have they done?
Well, Colbert's going to leave. I don't think they're. I don't know.
He's still there.
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah, he's got another year. I think.
He's got another year.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Is it May of next year? I think is when he leaves, something like that, or March. But he's not going anywhere for a while. And then I don't think they're going to get rid. Because the thing is, if you got rid of Fallon, it's the Tonight Show, right? You're going to get rid of Fallon, or are you going to get rid of the whole show? You're not going to get rid of the Tonight Show because it's such a brand.
Yeah, but if the brand isn't making any money anymore.
Yeah, but I don't think they pay them that much. I don't think he's not making $15 or $20 million a year. And the next person, what do you hire a bunch of people to just make you don't even need that. By the way, just play YouTube videos all night. I bet you that get higher ratings.
Yeah.
Just wouldn't it be great? You should just let anybody host it. The Tonight Show. Like every night, you just pick somebody out of the crowd and they get to host it.
Just run TikTok videos of people falling down.
And animals. Hilarious animals.
Yeah.
People to watch that. They would
and
eat
women
that
in
up.
bikinis.
Oh, yeah. Women in bikinis always work. Always work. So this will be interesting because, we need to hold all power in check regardless of what side you're on, especially if it threatens. Because if we lose the opportunity to have speech, we've already seen too much of this crap. The left did it with the Twitter files and all that kind of stuff. And we can't allow that to happen again. And we can't allow our side to become the side that ends up going, oh, yeah, well, we're going to do the same thing. We just can't. That cannot happen. All right, coming up, we're going to wrap up the show. Is Matt here? I haven't seen Matt today.
I haven't seen him either.
All right, so the welcome mat's supposed to happen. Maybe he's here, maybe he's not. If not, I will answer all your questions for Matt. That's straight ahead. Chad Benso, Super Talk 97.
to these candidates.
That's smart. That's good. We were going to ask this earlier, and somebody actually hit me up, and I talked about it earlier on my show today. Because it was so public in the way that it happened and who did it, like, would this have been the same if he would have passed like Breitbart did?
No. I mean, I think it hits because it was an assassination.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, obviously Breitbart stung, and you felt like you lost a star in the conservative movement. But no, I think this hits differently than. I mean, gosh.
Yeah. Because of how it happened.
I mean, right. The left wanted to make the comparison between the Minnesota political figure, Melissa Hortman.
Yes.
Well, no one knew who Melissa Hortman was, and that's no disrespect to her.
In Minnesota had no idea who
she
was.
I mean, you would have to have lived in Minnesota and been actively involved in politics, right? So, I mean, there's no disrespect to her, but, everyone that was involved in politics in any fashion knew who Charlie Kirk was.
Yeah, on the right or the left.
On the right or the left. So,
his reach was beyond even politics because the younger generation, some of them, the Christian side of it, but both sides of the aisle knew what kind of effect he had on things where, again, it's even Paul Pelosi. I mean, as horrible as that was, nobody knows who Paul Pelosi is.
Right. I mean, we know that it's wrong to break into Nancy Pelosi's house for the most part.
Anybody's house is
I'm going to talk a little about that today, too, because, the vile, ridiculous, conspiracy-laden atmosphere on social media has led some to believe that they're justified, because they use words like fascist and Nazi and all that. Mentally deranged people, but you see it less so, I think, on the right, but you see it on the right too, and it's happening to a certain degree on the right now with Charlie Kirk.
With Charlie Kirk, because did the Jews kill him? Did Bibi kill him?
Oh, and now there are people that are exploiting this, saying, well, the shot came from the rear.
Yes. They're looking for their Zapruder moment. Like, where's this thing?
FBI hit.
Yeah, it was an FBI hit.
Right, exactly. And I'm like, just please stop it. I mean, just please calm it down. Or at very least, the sane ones among us need to ignore it and move on from it.
Yeah.
And I understand that we are now more than ever, we're going to question, we're going to ask if we're getting the right story. And rightly so, we should ask, because sometimes we don't get the full story.
No,
but
no way. They don't give us the
just
full
use
story?
the brain that God gave you and ask yourself, if the shot had come from the rear, would people in the crowd not be publicly saying the shot came from over there?
The first thing I said to Ken when I saw the first video is, because I expected, because I didn't know what was, I expected somebody to walk straight up to him. And I said, Ken, it's from behind, because the guy had taken the picture and he was probably 200 yards away and everybody looked behind them.
Right.
And I said, it came from far away. It came from behind them. So, I mean, you can't get 5,000 people to spin around with somebody standing in front of you or behind. That's not the way it works.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's the unfortunate reality of the world that we live in. Did you see this story about, I'd forgotten. I mean, as often as we hear about some nut job trying to commit some act of violence, I'd forgotten about the Kavanaugh attempt.
Yeah. That's right.
And now the Kavanaugh guy is now wanting to be a girl.
Oh,
you see this? Now, this dropped earlier that the individual responsible, after Chuck Schumer said, you have unleashed the whirlwind, we're coming after you, Kavanaugh, we're coming after you, Gorsuch, and this guy travels across country, brings his guns in his bag. Thankfully, U.S. Marshals had been posted at Kavanaugh's, and his attempt was unsuccessful, but he has now filed paperwork that he wants to change his pronouns and be known as Susanna. I'm not making that up. Susanna.
Well, I mean...
So can we call that transgender violence?
No, I think I would go, are you trying to do this because you want to go to the girls' prison?
The first thing I thought. Like, right, you want to go to the girls' prison, not the boys' prison? You want to go to the girls' prison.
That's where you want to go.
Well, I think men think that, sane, rational men think that, because if I was in a position where I knew I was about to go to prison for a long, long time, I'd be like, I'm a girl.
That's it.
I need to go to the women's prison. Thank you.
I've been Nancy.
Yeah. So, that's coming up. Friday's coming up. We're going to try to finish the week off strong.
Sounds good, my man. You have a good one?
You have a great weekend.
Thank you, too. Who's Georgia playing this weekend?
We are off this weekend. We plan to beat off this weekend.
Do you trying to beat off? And Mr.
What?
Mr. Boomer Sooner, who do you have this weekend?
Auburn.
I got to do the news.
Is that college? Is that a college? Kid Straight Ed, you guys have a good weekend.